Horizon Forbidden West is finally on the horizon. Haha, get it? And this time, Sony reached out to me again and has challenged me to train like Aloy. Now, aside from the fact that that's like the coolest challenge I've ever received, we're gonna need some equipment. That's right, guys. Sony came at me. They were like, hey, Frank, we want you to train like Aloy. And I'm like, hey, that sounds terrifying. Are there giant robots involved? They said no. I love this game. I haven't even played this game yet, and I love this game. Do you know why? Because the first one was amazing, and it is one of my favorite games of all time. And I bought the board game and the expansions. I bet you didn't even know there was a board game for it. What I'm getting at is that I'm excited, guys. Like, this is surreal, and I love it. When Sony came to me about this partnership idea, they had challenged me to train like Aloy. So really, that left me with one obvious option. Archery. Now, making one of Aloy's signature bows from the game would be awesome, but what if it actually worked? First, we need one of these. Not bad, stylish, I like it. And then we're gonna need a bow. I think this'll do. Now, I know what you're thinking, Aloy uses a standard string bow. Well, the problem was the shape of the bow itself. A standard bow is gonna be very difficult to get into this odd shape that Aloy's bow is. It's made of machine parts. It's not actually structured like a real bow and arrow. However, a composite bow does have that nice structure and curve to it, and if you ignore a couple of the extra strings, I think we can make this work just fine. Now, this looks nothing like her bow. It's camo colored, it has just a couple extra little bits on it, and it doesn't have any of her fancy ornate white machine parts, so we have to change that. And what better way to make something look cooler than with a 3D printer? Thanks to the power of the internet and all weebs united, I actually found this really great free Thingiverse file of Aloy's bow. My plan is to print some of the parts out and use them to decorate the bow. I'm not going to need all of the parts as I'm not making the entire thing, but there's definitely some ornate features here I think I can fashion and jerry-rig to the actual compound bow. So all of these prints came out beautiful. I'm super happy with this quality. If you're wondering the printers I used for this project, half of them were printed on the FL Sun Super Racer, what a name, right? And then the other half were printed on my Ender 3 S1. If you want to know more about either of those printers, go check out my second channel, Frankly Reviewed, where I've already covered the Ender and I'm working on covering the FL Sun. And after this print quality, it's not bad. So the next step in this process, I need to get all the supports off of these prints, weld a few of them together, and start seeing how I can fashion them to the bow. And I think we can do that in some type of really cool montage. Let's start. So, that was way harder than I thought it was going to be. However, I think the results speak for themselves. I love how this thing is coming out. I was able to get everything to fit fairly nicely with a lot of cutting. There was a lot more cutting on this than I thought, but I think it looks really cool. It's definitely a unique bow, and I cannot wait to paint this thing. So let's go get this thing in the garage. I have to take a few bits of it apart, and we'll start painting it. Okay, so everything's out in the garage, the paint is drying, or at least the parts that I needed to paint, but I need to get the feathers, the beads, stuff like that. So let's go on the hunt. So obviously I didn't go scavenging, but I did go to the local hobby store, and I want to share that experience real quick with you guys because that was so much fun. I've never, like I said, this is different than my normal builds. It's usually cosplay in the sense of Iron Man suits or helmets or stuff like that. But walking around the store, the aisles of the hobby store with like a picture of the bow and just trying to find like things that looked like it, I can't believe I haven't done something like that sooner. Yeah, I just wanted to share my like genuine joy from just having that experience. Now that I have everything I hope I need, we're gonna break out the hot glue. We're gonna start building this thing. Hopefully the paint's dry. It's probably definitely not, so I'm probably gonna be wearing a different shirt. It's gonna be in the future. Anyway, let's get started with that. I am so excited. Okay, I know time lapses can make builds like this seem a lot easier than they are, but this was probably one of the hardest things I've ever built. Let me explain why. First, the biggest pitfall were these outer limbs, this white part area. Getting this to sit over the limbs of the bow was probably the thing that took the most time. I had to cut out so much of the inside of these little, we'll call them limbs for now. I had to cut so much of that out to get these white parts of the bow to sit inside of them. But the other side of that was, as I draw the bow back, they flex and bend. So they're gonna snap back to a predetermined position, and it was causing issues with these limbs actually flying and breaking off. Luckily, it's 3D printed plastic, super easy to fix, but really that's what took the most time. Another area that was left to interpretation was this lower spot. I wasn't sure if it was fabric, there were some beads on it. I did my best with some reference images, and because this bow is now a different shape and size, I really just left it up to my own interpretation, and I think it came out pretty nicely. After the hardships of the side, honestly, making the inside handle area wasn't too bad. As I started to cut up some of these gunmetal parts, a lot of them seemed to fit and slot into place like they were kind of made for it. With all that said and done, and after getting past all the issues I ran into, I'm super happy with how this came out. But now with bow in hand, I think it's time to go train like Aloy. Alright guys, so the project was a success. This thing looks so cool. I am so happy with the results of this. I cannot wait to hang this on the wall somewhere and be able to look at this every day. I need to thank Sony and Guerrilla Games. Without them, this wouldn't have been a thing. This video wouldn't have been possible, and I can't thank them enough. So please guys, if you're interested in the game, if you're any type of Horizon fan, or you think you might be, please go check out the game. Go download it now. Go have fun with it. I don't know how to say how surreal this has all been. I played Horizon Zero Dawn when it first came out, and just a couple years later, I'm working with the company and Sony making a prop from the game. What? But getting to work on this bow and make it look as cool as possible has been a little dream come true. If you guys could, please let me know down in the comments what you think of this project. Is this instantly recognizable from a Horizon game, or did I completely miss the mark? I like to think I did pretty good. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm constantly releasing awesome build videos just like this, and it really helps you guys stay informed, so don't forget to ring that notification bell. That's going to be a wrap for this video, guys. Thank you so much, Sony and Guerrilla Games. Guys, don't forget to check out Horizon Forbidden West, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and you have a good day.